Good morning, my dear students. Today we are going to start the new theory in chapter 9, which is modulus of elasticity, or you can say elastic moduli. Elastic moduli, right? So today we are going to discuss the definition of modulus of elasticity, or you can say elastic moduli, and we will also discuss its type in detail, right? So first of all, let us start with definition. What do you mean by modulus of elasticity? Right, the ratio of stress to strain is known as modulus of elasticity, right? The ratio of stress to strain is known as modulus of elasticity, or it can also be known as elastic moduli, right? Both are same. Now modulus elasticity have different types. So it has different types. The first one is Young's modulus, right? First one is Young's modulus. Second one is shear modulus, or you can say modulus of rigidity, right? Second one is shear modulus or modulus of rigidity, and the last one is bulk modulus. Last one is bulk modulus. So it has three different types. First one is Young's modulus, second one is shear modulus, or you can say modulus of rigidity, and third one is bulk modulus. And today we are going to discuss these all types in detail. Now the first type is Young's modulus. How can we define the Young's modulus? So it is very simple. The ratio of longitudinal stress to longitudinal strain is defined as Young's modulus, right? The ratio of longitudinal stress to longitudinal strain is defined as Young's modulus, and it is defined by symbol Y, right? And we know in case of longitudinal stress there are two kinds of stress possible, whether it is compressive or tensile. So we can also write the ratio of tensile or compressive stress to longitudinal strain is defined as Young's right? So we can also define as the ratio of tensile or compressive stress, and stress is defined by symbol sigma, to longitudinal strain, which is defined by symbol epsilon, is defined as Young's modulus. Now in the form of equation it becomes y equal to sigma by epsilon. Now further simplifying, so y equal to sigma. What is the equation for sigma? So for that, force upon unit area divided by delta L by L. F by A is nothing but force per unit area, which is the tensile or compressive stress, or you can say longitudinal stress, and epsilon, which is the strain, which is given by delta L by L. So finally, if we simplify, we will get Young modulus y equal to F into L into A into divided by A into delta L. So this is the equation for Young modulus y equal to F into L divided by A into delta L. So this is very important equation. Now what about its unit? So we know this strain is a unitless quantity. Strain is unitless quantity. So the unit of longitudinal stress will be the unit of Young's modulus, right? So its unit is Newton per meter square, or you can say Pascal, right? And its dimension is m1 L-1 T-2. So this will be the basic concept of Young's modulus. And one more thing, Young's modulus for metals are large. Why the Young modulus for metals are large? Because in case of metal we required more force. In case of metals it requires more, or you can say large force to deform, right? It requires more force, large force to deform from its original position. That's why metals have large value of Young modulus, right? Now the second type is shear modulus, which is defined by symbol G. Now what is the definition of shear modulus? So it is very simple. The ratio of shearing stress, which is defined by symbol sigma s, to shearing strain is defined as shear modulus. It can also be defined as modulus of rigidity. It can also be defined as modulus of rigidity. Now in the form of equation G, which is equal to shearing stress sigma s divided by shearing strain, right? So this will be the definition of shear modulus, right? Now if you remember the concept of shearing strain, shearing strain, we have considered one cylinder having length L, and if we apply the tangential force in both the faces of cylinder, then it will be displaced by delta x, and new position of cylinder will be like this. New position of cylinder will be like this. This is the displacement delta x, and this is the angle theta, and this is the length of cylinder is L. So here in this case, from this triangle A, B and C, from triangle ABC, we can write the equation for tan theta, which is equal to delta x by L, right? And we know this displacement is very small. This displacement delta x is very small, so at that time we can consider tan theta, which is approximately equal to theta, equal to delta x by L. So finally we have theta equal to delta x by L. Clear? So now the shearing stress. Now come to the definition of shear modulus. This concept is helpful for the equation of shear modulus. Now we know shearing stress, which is defined by force per unit area F by A, and shearing strain, which is equal to delta x by L, right? So finally we have the equation of shear modulus G, which is F into L divided by A into delta x, right? I have just simplified this equation and I will get this equation. Now I can also write the equation of shear modulus in different form. How can I write? So let us consider this F by A into L by delta x. Clear? I have just simplified this equation, right? Now F by A into L by delta x. We know theta equal to delta x by L, and from this 1 by theta, which is equal to L by delta x. So in place of L by delta x, I can write theta. So the equation will be F upon A into theta. New equation of shear modulus G, which is F upon A into theta. And we know this F by A, which is F by A is shearing stress into 1 by theta. So finally G equal to what we have, sigma s by theta, and from this we can also write sigma s equal to G into theta. So these are the different equations that will helpful for solving example, right? Now SI unit, what about the SI unit? So SI unit is, it is similar as Young modulus, because here in numerator we have stress and denominator we have strain, and we know strain have no unit. So SI unit is Newton per meter square, or you can write Pascal, right? So this is the basic concept of shear modulus. One more thing, the value of shear modulus is generally less than value of shear modulus generally less than Young's modulus. Right. The value of shear modulus is generally less than Young's modulus, and approximately it is G approximately equal to Y by 3. Here Y is Young modulus. So this is the concept of shear modulus. Now the third and last type is bulk modulus, which is defined by symbol B. If you remember the concept of volume strain, at that time we have considered one solid body which is placed in high pressure fluid. We have considered one solid body that is placed in high pressure fluid. If we have placed a solid body in high pressure fluid, then what will happen? This high pressure fluid tries to develop force, or you can say this high pressure fluid tries to develop pressure, or you can say this high pressure fluid tries to develop the hydraulic pressure on this solid body along all sides. Then what will happen? The size of solid body is going to be decreased. The volume of a solid body is going to be decreased by delta V. Delta V is nothing but it is the decrease in the volume of a body when it is placed in high pressure fluid. So here we can say delta V by V, which is the hydraulic strain. Right. Now let's come to the definition of bulk modulus. So it is defined as the ratio of hydraulic stress to corresponding hydraulic strain is known as bulk modulus. Right, and we know it is defined by symbol B. Right. Now in terms of equation, bulk modulus B, which is defined as P by delta V by V, but keep in mind this value in negative, because when the pressure is applied on the body, when the pressure is applied on the solid body, the volume of a body is decreased. That's why here we have considered the equation for B, bulk modulus B, which is equal to minus P by delta V by V. The negative sign indicates that with increase in pressure, with an increase in pressure, a decrease in volume occurs. Means if P is positive, then delta V is negative. Delta V is negative, right? So for equilibrium, for system equilibrium, bulk modulus B, the value of bulk modulus B is always positive, right? Because if we increase the pressure, if we consider pressure is positive, the volume of a body, the change in volume of a body is decreased. That's why delta V is negative. But for system equilibrium, the value of bulk modulus B is always positive, right? Now what about the SI unit? So SI unit for Young modulus, for shear modulus as well as for bulk modulus is same, which is Newton per meter square, or you can say Pascal, right? So this is the basic concept of bulk modulus. Now the new term is introduced, which is the compressibility. The new term, which is compressibility. Now what do we mean by compressibility and how it can be defined? The compressibility is defined as it is the reciprocal of bulk modulus. The reciprocal of bulk modulus, reciprocal of bulk modulus is known as compressibility, is known as compressibility. And compressibility, which is defined by symbol small k. Compressibility defined by symbol small k. So this k equal to 1 by b, right? And in the form of definition, if we want to write the definition of compressibility, then it is defined as the fractional change in volume per unit increase in pressure. So compressibility, it is the reciprocal of bulk modulus, or in terms of definition it is defined as fractional change in volume per unit increase in pressure, right? So the equation of K, which is equal to 1 by B or minus 1 by delta P into delta V by V, right? This equation comes from the equation of bulk modulus, because here we need the fractional change in volume but per unit increase in pressure. That's why here we have used the delta P. So this will be the equation for compressibility K. K equal to 1 by B equal to minus 1 by delta P into delta V by B. Now one more thing, bulk modulus for solid is greater than bulk modulus for liquid which is greater than bulk modulus for gases. Why the bulk modulus for solid is greater than liquid and bulk modulus for liquid which is also greater than gases? Because we know solids are least compressible. Solids are least compressible. It is very difficult to compress the solid body, whereas gases are most compressible. So in case of solid it is difficult to compress, but in case of gases we can easily compress. It is because of its tight coupling between neighboring atoms. It is because coupling between neighboring atoms. In case of solid, there is a tight coupling between neighboring atom, and in case of gases there is a loose coupling between neighboring atom. So we need small amount of force. In case of gas, and we need the large amount of force, or you can say large amount of stress for solid, right? So this is the concept of bulk modulus.